Good morning. Today, the American Stock Exchange is proud to welcome our newest listed company, Asconi Corporation. Asconi Corporation will begin trading after the opening bell this morning under the symbol ACD with Cohen Specialists. Asconi is engaged in the production and distribution of wine throughout Eastern Europe. We are very happy to be working with Asconi and look forward to a long and successful partnership with them. Joining us today is Serguei Melnik, Chief Operating Officer. Please join me in a big round of applause as I invite Sergei to say a few words before ringing the bell this morning.
Chairman Sedano, esteemed representatives of the Board of Governors and members of the American Stock Exchange, we at Asconi Corporation would like to thank you for inviting us to ring the opening bell this morning. The last few years have been an exciting time for our company as we have grown our shares, market share and wine sales around the world. For our shareholders who have been with us through thick and thin, this day means together culmination of a journey and a dynamic new beginning for our company. We would like to be an active member of the American Stock Exchange. Thank you all and God bless America.
Come on. What do you want to do? What's up, bro?
Nice to meet you. How you doing? All right. Nice to meet you. Hey, Michelle. Let's get going on our back. Where are you working? All right.
IPI.
Not right now, but he'll be back.
That's from Wex and Maryland. The opening's right now, so.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. I'm there. 95.
Yeah, Rob should be here. Hold on a second.
Got it.
Any makeup kits in that medium booth up there? Powder. Just powder?
Good morning, I'm Paul Dorfman at the American Stock Exchange, where moments ago, Asconi Corporation rang the opening bell to celebrate the company's November 4th listing on the American Stock Exchange. With me today is Serguei Melnik, Chief Operating Officer of Asconi Corporation. Welcome, Sergey.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Could you tell me a little bit about what the Amex listing means to you and Asconi Corporation?
To me, to Asconi Corporation, to our shareholders, the listing American Exchange means first the culmination of 2-year journey that we had through OTC Bulletin Board, and we successfully weathered through all the problems that we encountered there. And right now it's a new beginning for us. We are going to get better exposure. We're going to get the better value for our shareholders. And finally, analysts and everybody else will be able to see the company for its really is, our earnings, our reports, our growth.
Could you tell me a little bit, and our audience, a little bit about what Asconi does?
At this point, we're one of the largest producers and exporters of wines and spirits in Eastern Europe. We produce over 350 products of wine. We export, last year we have exported around 17 million bottles of wine. We plan to increase it this year. We produce, besides wines, we produce vodkas, we produce sparkling wine, and we plan to introduce ice wine production before the end of the year.
Now, Asconi's production, for the most part, is in Moldova, which is not a typical, or at least what the average consumer knows to be a typical wine-producing area. Tell us a little bit about that, because it's very interesting.
Just tell a little bit about that. I mean, Moldova has a tradition of wine producing for over 5,000 years. That's about 1,000 years before France began producing wines. During the Soviet Union times, it was the main producing country of Soviet Union, and it's for the listeners and maybe of some of our shareholders don't even know that 36% of the country's exports are coming from wine, and Moldova is producing 7% of all wine output out of Europe.
Fantastic. Can you tell us about some of Asconi's production capacity and processing capacity, such as in tons and volume and things of that nature?
At this point, on average, recent months, we export over 2 million bottles a month. We have a 50,000 ton per season capacity. We have 9 processing plants that can process the grapes every year. I mean, 50,000 tons, it's full capacity. I mean, at this point, every year we process around 25,000 tons. So we're still, 50% of our full capacity. So there's still opportunity for much growth there. And we plan to expand, of course, into different areas of production, like Romania, the country of Romania, and Bulgaria in the future.
Could you tell us some other areas that Asconi is looking towards? Some of the developed areas, is Eastern Europe, and how about beyond that?
The main market for us, of course, traditionally was the Russian Federation. It's a country of almost 200 million people, and it's still tremendous growth over there that shows year after year. Other markets, of course, would be Eastern Europe and Western Europe that we can penetrate through our product. We have very good quality for our product. We have very low price for our product based on the production facilities that we have. The main target for us right now to be competitive in the future is increasing our production base. That's why I'm telling that we will be acquiring companies in Romania, we'll be acquiring companies in Bulgaria. These are traditional wine countries where right now still you can get very good value for those operations, and that shows a lot of potential for the future. So this is areas that we're looking into right now, and that's how we're trying to stay competitive for the future.
What are some of the brands that some consumers might be able to find at some point on the shelves?
At this point in South United States, like Florida, you probably find in Orlando area, Miami area, our Merlots, our Sauvignon Blanc, our Chardonnay and Rieslings. There is 2 more containers coming up of sparkling wine and also some souvenir bottles like Old Tavern, that's a dessert wine, and some Merlot in souvenir bottle, and some Madeira 1984.
What would you like the investment community to know about Asconi Corporation?
I would like to know that we have a very aggressive management, that this company was grown from 0 assets to a company that has over 40 million assets last year, and that we have aggressive approach towards business, and we're going to be planting our own vineyards, and we'll have a great future as we're going to be able to grasp, the tendency in the market, in that emerging markets we're doing business in.
Thank you very much, Sergei.
Thank you very much.
I've been speaking with Sergei Melnik, Chief Operating Officer of Asconi Corporation, now listed on the American Stock Exchange under the symbol ACD. I'm Paul Dorfman from the American Stock Exchange. Thank you.